What's the video on today? The phones, I forgot. Camera comparison. Today, we are doing a camera comparison between the OnePlus 8 Pro and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Both of these devices have the word Pro or labeled as Pro by the manufacturers themselves, which means they have an edge above their regular lineups. So let's go ahead and dig right into it. There are a couple glaring differences between these two smartphone cameras. Look at the camera humps, if you will.
Check it out.
So I just wanted to talk about the megapixels really quick. I always want to bring that up because I want you to know I do not buy phones based upon specs. I buy phones for many reasons. But the OnePlus 8 Pro has some beefy specs. The iPhone 11 Pro Max, well, we only know some of the specs because Apple doesn't want you to know. Apple doesn't focus on specs. Apple focuses on consumer user experience. When you compare the specs between the iPhone 11 Pro Max and the OnePlus 8 Pro and all the different features, it doesn't even compare. The iPhone falls short all over the place. But can the iPhone still take a good picture? Can the iPhone still hold its weight? We are pushing Pro camera up against Pro camera, and let's see how that looks, shall we? In this picture, let's go ahead and take a look. This is just the scene with the little fountain. You've seen it a couple times in previous videos of mine. But what I want to focus on is the color of the sky. This is where we can really see a big difference. The greens on the iPhone are definitely a little bit more green, whereas the 8 Pro is a little bit more darker as far as saturation, I guess is the best way to put it. But if you really hone in on the blue in the sky, you can really see the difference on how both of these cameras process the image completely different. I wouldn't even say that these images are close to each other. So if I had to guess which of these photos I personally like better, I'm gonna go with the iPhone 11 Pro Max. What we have here is the same exact photo except the wide angle. If you take a look at the red bench, you can see it's almost like an optical illusion. Like one photo looks wider on one side and then the other photo looks wider on the other side. And I think we can just chalk that up to the position of the actual cameras. But if we are just looking at both of them side by side, they look really good. My personal opinion now that we're looking at it like this, I prefer the darker blue sky with the contrast of everything. So if I could get the blue sky of the 8 Pro and put it into the 11 Pro Max photo, I would have a perfect picture for myself. So you could change this in post editing if you like, but we're looking at the pictures as the devices process the images. This is a 10 times zoom. We are looking at the image of the fountain in the same picture as before. The iPhone only gives me 10 times zoom, so that's as far as I can go. Whereas the 8 Pro actually gives me a 30 times zoom, but it's not really too useful in my opinion. So this is just up the road a few blocks, the beach over in Gulfport, Florida, beautiful little city that I happen to live in. But which of these pictures do you prefer? That's what I want to know. This is a really tough one for me. I'm looking at these photos and I'm thinking, well, they both caught the difference of the color of the rising horizon because I took this really early in the morning, and the blue of the sky is still really light. It's not quite a dark blue as it progresses through the day. So looking at this picture right here, I don't really think there's a winner. I think they both did a really, really good job. Here's another scene of the beach, and this is a little bit later in the day, if you will. The sun is on the rise. It is coming up a little bit more. It's a different angle, and these photos look really, really good. But if I had to guess which one do I want to put up on my wall, if I'm going to turn one of these into a piece of artwork, if you will, I'm an artist, then I would say give me the iPhone 11 Pro Max. I think the picture just looks better. The greens are a little bit brighter. When I'm looking at the suns of these two photos, the iPhone is giving me several different shades. And if you look at it, you can kind of see we've got the dark red and then going into orange and then just going into the sky. Whereas the OnePlus appears to be just one constant shade, just the same color flowing. So the iPhone picked up the different levels of intensity of the sun, and I really liked that. I thought it was really clever. Now, I'm not favoring the iPhone over the OnePlus at all. I love and I use my 8 Pro way more than I use my iPhone. But when it comes to photos, I think the iPhone is definitely taking better photos. And I want you to know that. Here we go. We are looking at the giant cactus outside my house, but it's it's a great photo. But what I really want to take a look at with you is the wide angle photo, because I feel, again, the iPhone did a much better job with this photo. The 8 Pro is a little bit more darker in the saturations. Now, all of that can be adjusted and tweaked with a little bit of settings and adjustments in the post edit. So I can definitely achieve that type of image with the 8 Pro that the iPhone is giving me, but we're just looking at the regular point and shoot settings, since most of us pull cameras out of our pocket because they're attached to our phones and we take a picture and that's what we get. And this is what you got. Man, the iPhone is just kicking the butt out of the 8 Pro. I mean, gosh, OnePlus, are you ever gonna step up your game? So now we are looking at our little beanie baby again. You've seen him in a couple other photos, and you can see, getting close up, both phones did a phenomenal job at creating a little bit of that background bokeh effect, focusing in on the subject, blurring out the background. This is without activating the portrait technology. We're gonna look at this same photo in the next shot, so let's go ahead and take a look at that, and let's talk about this and why I don't like it. So the iPhone 11 Pro and the OnePlus 8 Pro both has you kind of pull the phones back until it tells you it's okay to take that portrait photo, which I don't like. So now we have portrait mode activated in both of these. OnePlus did a very poor job at processing the portrait, whereas the iPhone 11 Pro Max did a much better job, and iPhone is doing a lot better than it used to with processing images. So that's a big thumbs up for you, Apple. But OnePlus really did a poor job here, and I wish they would have done better. This is me taking a quick little picture going to the mall. First time going to the mall in about 2 months, so I was excited to go. Not a lot of stores open, but everyone was being super safe, super distant. I was very, very impressed. But the pictures is what we're here to look at. The OnePlus 8 Pro, my opinion, did a lot better with the selfie in good lighting conditions, whereas the iPhone still gave me more of a darker, deeper, saturated skin tone. So this photo, I actually give the big thumbs up to the OnePlus 8 Pro. I think it's the first time in this comparison I actually prefer a photo from the 8 Pro versus the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So now we're gonna go ahead and just take a look at a couple videos. This is me activating the zoom. Which one is better? Which one would I prefer? Guys, I think you need to know. I think I'd rather have the iPhone zoom. I think 30 times zoom is a gimmick, just like 100 times zoom. I don't need it. If I need to be looking in on someone or something 30 times away from me, it's kind of creepy stalkerish. Maybe I should get a little bit closer if I want to take a better picture. Tell me, you guys, head down to the comments. Am I wrong? Am I crazy? But I will say that doesn't matter which of these devices you pick, you're gonna get a solid experience. Based on my camera test that I just did with you guys, if I'm looking for a device to give me the better camera, the iPhone 11 Pro Max is going to deliver a better photo, my opinion. The OnePlus, the 8 Pro, has some work to do. They need to get somebody on their team to go ahead and kind of focus a little bit more on that camera. I think if OnePlus could deliver a better camera to all of us, it would be a giant win. I think they would dominate the Android market, but as of now, Samsung is still giving us much better cameras. Huawei's giving us a better camera, and Pixel's definitely giving us a better camera. So I think, because my next camera comparison is going to be the OnePlus 8 Pro versus the Pixel 4 XL. So if you don't want to miss that camera comparison, like, comment, and most of all, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything, and hit that notification bell. Guys, thanks for spending your time with me. I appreciate you more than you know. For the love of tech, till next time, namaste. Thanks Nomadic Gear for supporting the channel. I'm kind of known for spending a ridiculous amount of money on luggage and high-end backpacks. Then I came across Nomadic bags and I absolutely fell in love with the Nomadic backpack, and now I'm in love with the Nomadic Carry-On Pro. This is a 2-bag-in-1 type of deal and it will not disappoint you. If you're in the market for some new luggage, a messenger bag, or a backpack that's big enough to take on a trip and still carry on the plane, then look no further. Take a moment and check them out. Link is in the description. Don't forget to click on the red sale link at the top of the page. You'll thank me later.